Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. I hope all of you are fine and doing well. So the topic we will discuss today it is the proteins, which is the second macromolecule found in the body of the living organisms. So let's have a look on the proteins. Proteins are basically highly complicated nitrogenous compound. If they are nitrogenous compounds, mean they contain nitrogen and they are made up of simple amino acids. It's mean amino acids combine and they make the long chains of the polymers. So these polymers are then known as the proteins and they contain nitrogen in them. So that's why they are known as nitrogenous compound. Mainly proteins consist of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen and sulfur. So these five elements combine and they make proteins for us. Then proteins has more than 10,000 amino acids. In a single protein, there may be more than 10,000 amino acids, and all the proteins yield amino acids upon hydrolysis. It means when amino acids combine with other amino acids, then they changes into the proteins. And upon hydrolysis, when they undergo hydrolysis or upon the addition of the water, it will be changes into back different amino acids. So the proteins are hydrolyzable. On the other hand, the proteins are almost present in all living organisms. They are present in all living organisms as well as they are the major component of all the cells. They are basically making up the bulk of non-bony structure, non-bony structure of all the animal's body or all the living organisms. That's why it is the major component of all the cells as well as all the tissues in the living organism. So this is a simple overview about the proteins that what are they and what they are going to produce upon hydrolysis. Let's have a look on the building blocks of the proteins. Basically, building blocks of proteins are known as the amino acids. Here we have the structure of the amino acid in which the central one we have carbon. It is present in the center. As the carbon can make the four bonds, its valency is 4, so the four different functional groups will be attached. On one side there is hydrogen. On the one side there is R. R is known as the alkyl group. This COOH, it is known as the carboxylic group. And on one side there is a group containing nitrogen. This group is known as the amino group. So that's why they are known as the amino acids and they combined forming the long chains and these long chains are known as the polymers as well as these are also known as the proteins. After that we have some occurrence of the proteins that where did the proteins are basically found. The number one we have proteins are present in all living organisms whether they are animals, whether they are plants and whether they are human beings. So they are present in all the living organisms. On the other hand, they are the major component of all the cells and tissues of the animals. It's mean the cells are mainly made up of the proteins and the tissues are also made up of the proteins. So what is difference between the cells and tissues? Cell is the basically unit of life and when different cells are going to combine, they are forming the organs in the living organism. So this was the simple occurrence of the proteins On the other hand, about 50% of the dry weight of the cell is made up of the proteins. It means if we have the 100% of the cell, then from which 50% dry part of that cell is made up of the proteins. Basically, they are found in the muscles, they are found in the skin, they are found in the nails, they are found in the wool, and they are also found in the feathers. So they are, as they are found in the skin, hair, nails, it means these are the examples from the living organisms that where we can find the proteins. It's mean if we are taking the proteins in adequate amount, then it will be helps us in the growth of the hairs, nails, and in nourishing the skin and as well as in the nourishing of the muscles. So all these is just important because we need proteins in an adequate amount for our body for the proper growth of the muscles, nails, and hair as well. This was a simple topic about the proteins. On a whole, as we have just look on the simple amino acid, where total amino acids are almost 10 to 20, which are going to make up all the proteins. It's mean these amino acids just combine a different way and making the proteins. Now it just depends upon the linkage between them. That what is the linkage between the proteins and what is the linkage between the amino acids. So this was the simple topic about the proteins. Now it is your task that you have to find the type of proteins, that what type of protein we just gain from the different foods as well. I hope you guys understand the topic, and if you have any queries you may ask me about that in the comment section and I will get back to you guys soon. The next topic that we will discuss, it is the amino acids, and amino acids are basically the building blocks of proteins. Along with that, we will also learn about the types of different amino acids, that how many types of amino acids are present over there. For that time, you guys keep learning and have a good